We're here at the Jerome County Clerk's office where tellers are counting your votes on two of the biggest issues, ranging from 5 to 15%, with some farmers being zeroed out completely. Live here at the Prime Bridge where you can see multiple cars going to and from the freeway. According to Bench Lake officials, there was smoke visible in the Stanley Basins since yesterday and is a trend that will continue to occur throughout this week. Former president was also hurt during this apparent assassination attempt, but he was able to walk off the stage. Sheriff's office already has some of these dash cams installed in their cars, but the plan will be fully rolled out by January 1st. Tyrone Grigg is facing felony charges of second-degree kidnapping and 3 counts of aggravated assault. Now, I've never played baseball, but I'm going to attempt to hit the ball to show you how it is. The May 7th deadline for the Real ID is fastly approaching, giving people less than a week to acquire it. If you've driven around the Magic Valley, you've probably seen signs like this one. Or this one will tell you exactly what you need to know about Proposition 1. If approved, Proposition 1 would introduce 2 big changes to elections in Idaho. First, it would establish a top 4 primary system, meaning the 4 candidates with the most votes in a primary election would advance to the general election. The other big change, a ranked choice voting system for general elections. This means letting voters rank their choices in order of preference, not just picking their party's candidate.
It's still one person, one vote. The real thing changing in that general election is not that you rank the candidates, in my professional opinion, but rather that in order to win, you must have a simple majority, that is 50% plus 1.
Perry Gardner is a professor of political science at the College of Southern Idaho. She says under the current system, people who are independent or don't choose a specific party can't vote for their primary candidate of choice.
People like storm out mad or like force the nonpartisan ballot back on us. Like, I refuse to vote on this one if I can't have the one I want. So it is very much an alive issue in the public, this idea of wanting to be able to participate and vote on all the candidates.
Some of those opposing the measure, like State Representative Lance Clow, raised concerns about that going away.
People go in often, many people go in and they say, I'm going to vote for all the R's, or I'm going to vote for all the D's. And they just do that because they have a feeling that they're more in line with Democrats or Republicans. That ability to do that in the future will be totally lost.
Instead of letting political parties nominate candidates for the election like we have now, Clow says a top 4 primary system would allow anyone to nominate themselves and declare their party affiliation.
The public at large decides who's their top 4 favorites. And that is a problem because the candidates themselves don't have to have any pedigree to say that they really are a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian. They can just say it and run accordingly.
But Luke Mayville, spokesperson for Idahoans for Open Primaries, argues that this change will make things fair for all registered voters.
If you're an independent voter and you don't belong to a political party, you get blocked from voting in the most important elections in our state. We believe that's wrong, and we've proposed Proposition 1 as a way to open up the primaries and really restore the right of every Idaho citizen to participate in our elections.
Idahoans for Open Primaries believes that ranked choice voting is the best part of this reform.
What ranked choice voting is all about is guaranteeing that the candidate who has the broadest support in the community actually wins the election.
If approved, Proposition 1 would apply to all congressional, gubernatorial, state, and county elected offices. Stay with your hometown station for complete election coverage. In Twin Falls, Maitane Orue, KMBT News.
The Magic Valley is the heart of the dairy industry.
And that's the vision behind the Idaho Center for Agriculture, Food, and the Environment, otherwise known as CAFE, is going up in Rupert. Mireille Shaheen from the University of Idaho explains why that location was chosen.
If you look at it within 100 miles each way, you have approximately 400,000 dairy cows. We are the 3rd state in milk production in the nation.
The center's aim is to address the problems facing the agriculture and food processing industries. Rick Narabaud, Chief Executive Officer of the Dairymen's Association, says the focus of the facility is on water usage and environmental issues.
On the water side, we'd be looking at, both water quality and water volumes. And when I say water volumes, I'd be looking at, are there different forages we could consider feeding here in the state of Idaho that are going to be similar to corn silage or hay, but maybe not as water consumptive as those crops.
The research center will also allow students from the University of Idaho to participate.
We'll give the opportunity to both graduate students as well as undergraduate students to be involved in doing research that is relevant to the dairy industry. But we also have the opportunity to work with veterinary students, for example. Our vision is to have them come for rotations and work with large animals.
According to Shaheen, this research is important to both the industry and the community.
This is not only a dairy facility. This is going to allow us to answer questions related to forages, to feed, to food processing, to impact on the environment, to impact on the economy, on our communities. Things are interrelated, and at-scale research will allow us to answer those questions.
According to project manager Pete Jones, phase 1, where I'm standing right now, is finishing up, and they're expected to start milking cows estimated by spring of 2026. In Rupert, Maitane Orue, KMVT News.